Today is Daf Kuf Aleph Amud Kuf Beis, but we're starting from the bottom of Kuf Aleph Amud Beis.
What's your title?
My makeup man didn't like the tie situation. All right, we're holding Daf Kuf Aleph Amud Beis on the bottom. Tonu Rabbanon. The famous halach of Eiver Min Achai, you're not allowed to eat a live limb from a live animal. So as we're going to see, there's Eiver Min Achai and there's Basar Min Achai. They're basically almost the same thing with a couple variations in halacha. But the meaning is the same. Tanu Rabbanon, Eiver Min Achai noyeg bebehema chaya v'oif. So we're going to see there's three shittas. One shita says Eiver Min Achai applies to all animals, all chayas, all birds, kosher, non-kosher. The other shita says it only applies to kosher animals, chayas, and birds. And the third shita says it only applies to, do you guys know this one? Only behemoths. Not deer and not birds. Only.
Does this mean eating it or just cutting it?
Eating it. No, cutting you're allowed to cut.
Eat a non-kosher animal. So what's the question?
Oh, very good.
Certain animals you could.
So we're gonna get there. Says the Gemara, Eiver Min Achai noyeg bebehema chaya v'oif bein tmeim bein tahorim divrei Rabbi Yehuda v'Rabbi Elazar. So both Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Elazar say it's chal in a behema in all behemoths. V'chachamim oimrim eino noyeg elo b'tahorim. Chachamim say no, it doesn't apply to non-kosher animals, but it applies to kosher birds and to kosher chayas. Omer B'Yochanan, and the third shita we're going to see soon. We're not going to get to the third shita until after we explain the first two shitas. Omer B'Yochanan v'shnei mikra echad. They both derived their limud from one pasuk. They actually took the same pasuk, but they came out with a different conclusion. It says in the pasuk, Rak chazak levilti achoil hadam ki hadam o nefesh. You shouldn't eat blood because the blood is the soul. Lo yisoichal ha-nefesh im ha-basar, and this is the pasuk that tells us Eiver Min Achai. So you're not allowed to eat it when the nefesh, the soul, is still in the animal. Rabbi Yehuda v'Rabbi Elazar Savri kol she'atom metzuva al domoy atom metzuva al eivarov. Rabbi Yehuda says whatever, you're not allowed to eat blood. Any animal you're not allowed to eat their blood. What animals? Oh, so all animals is Eiver Min Achai. You're mamish on top of your stuff today. All animals.
It's not Torah, it's tummy altogether.
Oh, but that's what he asked. We're gonna get. Yeah, that's what. That's what Yisachar asked. But
I just said Yisachar.
What animals could you eat their blood? What? Fish, chagavim, and shratzim. What? The blood of a sheretz you're allowed. Says, look at Rashi. U'mahalchi shtayim. Shratzim mahalchi shtayim. V'hani tmeim nami hoyel v'atam metzuva al damam, atam metzuva al eivarim. And all these animals, lions, rhinoceroses, tigers, all treif animals, and all birds, you're not allowed to drink their blood. So memela, there's the Isra of Eiver Min Achai, because in the pasuk of Eiver Min Achai it mentions blood. So memela, that's how they learn. Rabbanon, and where did Rabbanon come up with their thing? Rabbanon zavi leisoichal ha-nefesh im ha-basar. It says you shouldn't eat the nefesh, the soul, with the basar, but you're allowed to eat the basar when there's no nefesh. Only meat that eventually can become kosher, they learn, has an isser of Eiver Min Achai. If you listen very carefully now, so it's going to be very easy to fly through the whole amud all the way to the bottom, because it's basically a repetition. Now the Gemara says, Rabbi Yehuda Lama Leikra. Rabbi Yehuda, we learned the other day that Rabbi Yehuda holds that Gid Hanasha applies itself to Tomei animal. Why? Because Gid Hanasha was first. It was an Isser that we had from a strong Isser, it's a Chomer from Bnei Noyach. So Rabbi Yehuda Lama Leikra. So then why does Rabbi Yehuda need a pasuk for Ever Menachai on a non-kosher animal, Ever Menachai also preceded. It was what? Ever Menachai was.
No, the Torah wasn't given.
Doesn't matter. Sheva Mitzvahs B'nai Noach was given before the Torah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Memela.
The fact of the Yaakov for the angel.
No. That's
No,
Gid and
no,
Asher.
it's a different
And Ever Menachai
situation.
also. Ever Menachai they were also.
It was before we
Says the Gemara. In a Chanami. You're right. We just mentioned the names together, but really, the pasuk is only for Rebbe Lazar. And we learned the same thing. We learned word for word a second ago. The Rebbe Lazar. Now, this is new. Rabbi Meir Omer, here comes the third shita. Only in cows, goats, sheep. Everything else in the world, there's no Ever Menachai. If I were to take a piece of, and then comes the shaila, but what about you're eating a non-kosher animal? That's a different shaila. Simin Shmuel Shila Shimi. Again, this is an easy Gemara because basically it's going to be 5 lines of just names. Omer Rabbi Bar Shmuel, Omer Rav Chizda, V'Tamer Rav Yosef, Amrlo Rabbi Bar Shilo, Omer Rav Chizda, V'Tamer Rav Yosef. Some people say it was Shmuel, and some people say it was Shiloh. Amrlo Rabbi Shimi, and some people say it was Shimi, Omer Rav Chizda, V'Tamer Rav Yosef. Okay, my time there, Meir. Omakro, 2 psukim. Wow. It's getting worse and worse. Last week you should go out in a bang. You should give everybody full cups of coffee. What are you giving everybody, like? Say there. It's Moshe Shabbos. Let me see what he's giving out here. Wow. The matzah is getting schwer.
Make sure you got a full cup there.
But it wasn't cold, and whatever. It's getting.
Considering no food on Shabbos, you get
I'm checking you. If you have a job for him, Rabbi Say. Okay, so check this out. It's very interesting. 2 psukim before Ever Menachai, it says the words Bebekarcha u'mitzayimcha. V'zavachta comes from and says, you know what? Those 2 that pasuk is referring to Ever Menachai. So since it mentions only cows and sheep and goats, therefore Ever Menachai is only by cows, sheep, and goats, but not by deer, gazelles, and all those kosher chayas, and certainly not non-kosher animals. Omer Rav Gidol Omer Rav, machloikis b'Yisrael. The whole machloikis, if Ever Menachai applies to chayas, birds, or only to behemoths, that whole machloikis, the 3-way machloikis we just mentioned, is only b'negeh to Jew. Why? Because a goy doesn't have an isser to eat lions.
What's the hammer mean? Oh, the Enoch.
No, because the Torah says that Ever Menachai, let's say according to Rameir, the Torah says Ever Menachai is only in a cow. So a goy, how could it be that a goy has more yisurim than a Jew?
Right.
But a goy is allowed to eat all those other animals. So since he's allowed to eat all those other animals, so in Mela he's usher in Ever Menachai in all the animals of the world. And a Jew is only usher in a cow, according to Rameir. And according to Chachamim, a Jew is only usher in kosher animals.
Well,
But a Ben Noach,
he'll always be more than the Jew.
No.
There's a lot more animals.
and there's a concept that goyim. Stam as I'm saying, goy. If a Jew is mutter in something, then a goy is always mutter in it. It's actually brought down in Rashi in this page, not being again to this.
A guy would be with him in Guinness of a lion.
What? A goy is right, should, but it's not. Machlokes b'Yisrael. Aben Noach divrei hakol muzar latmeim ketahorim. Tani nami hachi. Ever Menachai ben Noach muzar olav alatmeim ketahorim. It says mefurish that a goy, a ben Noach, is not allowed to eat Ever Menachai even in a tummy animal. Yisrael in a muzar elo al tahorim milvad, and whereas a Jew is only also to eat Ever Menachai from kosher animals. Now it says tahorin. What was it referring to? Chayas also, or just animals? So ikadamr tahoira. It says it in a singular, and it's referring only to behemoths. V'Reb Meir. Ikadamr tahoirim. It's referring to all kosher animals, even chayas v'rabbanon. Omer Rav Shizvi, Afanana mitanino, ochal ever min achai mimeno. If you eat ever min ha'achai, it's talking about a non-kosher bird. In a soifeg, now it's a very, very interesting sentence. Listen to this sentence. It says, if you eat a non-kosher bird, you don't get malchus. Okay? You hear this? Listen, guys, Rabbi Isa, you're missing an unbelievable sentence here. It says, if you eat a non-kosher bird, you don't get malchus, and the shchita doesn't work on it. Now it's a non-kosher bird. So what does shchita have to do with anything here?
No shchita here.
Oh, to make not menachai.
But it's not kosher.
You can shoot it in the head.
It's not kosher, right? What does shchita have to do with it?
But menachai is only when the animals are alive.
Very good, but it's not kosher. Shchita, so shoot it in the head, Gary said. Kill it, choke it. Why would I think that shchita is machsherit? It should say, it has nothing to do with shchita, it has to do with being dead. When it's dead, there's no ever menachai. It doesn't say that. It says shchita doesn't help. So we have the bottom line is there's a big problem in this line. So we have to explain it somehow, and that's what the Gemara is going to do.
How do we know that it's talking about the non-kosher bird? It's not clear from the price
Why didn't they get malchus? It's very clear. Why doesn't they get malchus? If it was kosher, you'll get malchus.
Even according to Shizvi, if it's kosher bird, it gets malchus. Okay. Yeah.
How do you get out of malchus? So the b'mai ilay mebi Yisrael pshita dein shchita mitarasa. If it's talking about a Jew, then of course shchita doesn't help for a non-kosher bird. Elolav b'bnei noyach miklal daser. So all we want to say is that it's talking about a guy, and this doesn't really explain the brayse yet. And what about the fact that a Jew, if it's talking about a Jew, then he ate non-kosher, so he should get malchus anyways. That the Gemara is going to discuss in a second. All we want to prove from here for a second is that a guy is over on Iver Menachai on a non-kosher bird. Okay, so now, what happens is, you should just know this concept, that a guy is different than a Jew when it comes to shchita. Meaning, I'm going to wait because you're going to miss an extremely important halacha here. If a guy is allowed to eat a non-kosher animal, he's allowed to eat a non-kosher animal. He shechs the non-kosher animal, and right after the shechita, as we saw by the shechita, whoever was there, the animal moves around a little bit for 5 minutes, right? Mefarkeses, 5 minutes, it's moving. During those 5 minutes, a guy cannot eat the animal. That's considered Ever Menachai. Whereas a Jew, if a Jew shechs the chicken, and the chicken goes like this, like that, you're allowed to eat it, you're allowed to take a bite out of it. Why? Because shchita is mitaharit. Shchita works to remove its life immediately. You don't have to wait for pirkos to finish. But here's the big chiddush. Yet when it comes to shchita on a kosher animal, a guy is also allowed to eat it even though it's mefarkis. And Rashi over here sticks in because a guy is never usher in anything that a Jew is mutter in. So since a Jew is allowed to eat it right after pirkos, right after shchita, a guy is also allowed to. And that's what it means. Only by his non-kosher animals. By tummy animals. The shchita, einu metaharasa, doesn't work for him. Okay, so now let's just understand what we just read. Rabbi Mani bar Patish Romi Reisha Aseifa. It says in the Reisha that you don't get malchus, meaning that it's not Ever Menachai. That Ever Menachai doesn't work in Tomei. Right? So we start off the brayse, and now we're starting to understand the brayse. The first thing is, somebody who eats a non-kosher bird, a Jew, doesn't get malchus. Why? Because he didn't eat Ever Menachai. Ever Menachai is only on kosher animals. What about the other Isser called non-kosher? We're going to explain that in a second. But at least we understand the first part. He doesn't get malchus for Ever Menachai. If you just want to know because you're curious, he didn't eat a whole shear. There wasn't enough shear to be over on a non-kosher animal, but it's enough to be over on Ever Menachai. We're going to explain in a second. So the first part of the brayse says that there's no Ever Menachai on a Tomei animal. And then all of a sudden it says that the shechita doesn't work to make it tahor. So in other words, there is Ever Menachai in a non-kosher bird. Just the shechita doesn't work on it. The shechita doesn't work on it, but there is Ever Menachai. So therefore, we have to explain that the reisha, the first few words, you take a sentence, literally split it in half, put a period in the middle, and continue. The first part of the sentence is talking about a Jew. The Jew who eats Ever Menachai, a non-kosher bird, he's not over. The second part of the sentence is talking about a Ben Noach. He's over, and the shechita doesn't work for him. So let's see inside. Rav Shizvi. Sorry, Rabbi Mani Bar Patish Romi Reisha Seifa. He said this is a contradiction. Umishani, that's the contradiction. On the one hand, it seems like there's no Ever Menachai in a non-kosher bird because the Jew is not chai. And the second half says that the shechita doesn't work, but there is Ever Menachai. So he says Reisha Be Yisrael, that's why a Jew is not over, because a Jew doesn't have Ever Menachai in a non-kosher bird. Beseifa Beven Noyach. And the second part that says the shechita doesn't work for him is talking about a Ben Noach, and therefore if a Ben Noach, a guy, shech bird, and he takes a bite of it immediately after shechita, it doesn't work for him. Why? Because it's a tummy bird, and shechita doesn't work for a guy in a tummy bird, because until it's done mifar kesses. Omer Rav, Ever Menachai, Tzarech Kezayis.
Shechita takes away the Isser than for Kesses.
Yeah, shechita takes away treifa, nevela, and pirkos. One of the things it does by a Jew, it takes away mifar kesses. Yes, it's chiddush. I mean, I don't know what the achila is achila. Guy would have to eat a kazais. Yeah.
Heard that was the lashon hara that the brother that Ryan spoke on his brother. He saw them eating like he said Ever Menachai. They were eating it after Shechad when on stuff. They thought it was Ever Menachai.
Where was this?
Yes, that's tzaddik. It says that he told his father that they're eating Ever Menachai.
I still can't get over what Gary said in China. I need to see evidence of this. In China, they take a monkey and they eat it live.
In Japan. Yeah. You can see it on YouTube.
I don't want to see it on YouTube. What?
You don't want to watch it on YouTube.
It's horrible.
You don't want to watch it on YouTube.
I don't want to even think about it. I don't want to even say it over. They put it. They have a special table.
A table with a round, and they put the monkey up to the table, and they slice off his
cat,
eat his brain
while he's alive, and he's jumping, he's screaming like crazy.
You don't want to.
You don't want to think about it.
Such riches. That's mamish. That's okay. That's Ever Menachai like Inkamayu. From doing that, they deserve it. Wow. Okay, that's good to know. Omer Rav Ever Menachai Tzorch Kezais. So listen to this. Comes Rav. Live? Oh, they put them in boiling oil. Yeah, that's everybody does that. Oh, guys in America do that as well. Crab is the best way to kill it is put it in boiling water when it's alive. Crabs, because במים יש לזה הרבה lobster. הקרב? No crab. Omer Rav. Ever Menachai Tzorch Kezayis. Listen to this. Big chiddush. The Torah tells us that you're, at least according to one man, we're going to see Machlekes Rabbi Yechon Shlakish. But there's one pasuk l'chayra according to this that says Ever Menachai, a limb of a living animal, and then it says Basar Menachai, meat from a living animal. So if you were just to read it normally and you say Ever Menachai, you'd say, okay, if I eat a whole limb, let's say it's a tiny hummingbird, and I eat the limb of a hummingbird. I don't know if anybody's ever seen one, but some of them are the size of a bumblebee. They're tiny. So if you eat the limb of a bumblebee, of a hummingbird, it's less than a kazayis for sure. The whole thing is less than a kazayis. So if you eat an aver, the Torah says Ever Menachai is also. Comes around and says no. Ever Menachai tzorich kazayis. That's a big chiddush. Because without Rav, everybody on their own would say Aver means a limb. You eat a whole birya, a limb, yichayiv. No, this limb has to be a kazayis worth of a limb. My taima. Achila ksiva bay. Once it says achila, it has to be a kazayis. Mosiv Rav Amram. We just learned a second ago. Ochal Ever Menachai mimeno. Eino savik zarboim vein shchitim taharasa. If you eat the aver from a non-kosher bird, you don't get malchus, and shchita doesn't work. And if he has to eat a kazayis, He ate a full kazayis, and he doesn't get malchus for that. But there's another problem. Yisachar asked this 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. When did he ask it? 20 minutes ago. Tepaglei, dika'acha kazayis. At the end of the day, he ate treif. How are you going to work your way out of treif?
What do you mean? Because it wasn't a kazayis.
No, you're saying that you need to eat a kazayis of an aver. So he ate a full kazayis aver, and he doesn't get malchus for aver menachai.
What about treif?
What about
He
treif?
also didn't eat a kazayis of treif.
But he ate a kazayis. You have to say he's talking about he ate a kazayis we're talking about. Let's start again. In order to be over on an aver from aver menachai, you have to eat all kazayis. So this person wanted to check out the Torah, and he says, okay, I'm going to eat a whole aver of a kazayis of an aver, and let me see if I get malchus. And they tell him, no, you don't get malchus. You know why? Because it's a hummingbird. Hummingbird is not kosher, so you're not over. But he should get malchus for eating treif.
We said Eino Sofik is Arbaim.
Eino Sofik is Arbaim, he doesn't get malchus at all. Why not? He ate treif.
Because you're talking about Shech to the kosher animals, the fuck cares?
No, we're talking about a non-kosher bird. He ate a non-kosher bird.
We talk about a big bird.
He had a kazayis. The Aver had more kazayis. What?
Maybe because it's treif, and it's a halal.
But there is no isser for Aver Menachai. He doesn't get an isser.
No, but it's
A Jew has no isser. A Jew has no isser on Aver Menachai, so it should remain a tamei animal, and it should get malchus to the tamei animal. Says the Gemara. So what? So he should be for sure chayiv if he had a bria. But he didn't eat a bria because he ate an aver. But okay, as the Gemara, but he should get malchus. Does anybody have a good teretz or no? We don't understand what's going on here. It's simple. The guy ate. We have to be talking about a situation. We ate a kazayis, and if you ate a kazayis, you should be chayiv for a tamei. Says the Gemara, "Kedomer Rav Nachman ben Mashu basav v'gidim at samay." So Chanam ben Mashu basav v'gidim at samay. Rav Nachman comes with a chiddush. He ate a kazayis, but he didn't eat a kazayis of meat. He ate a kazayis of sinews and bones and a tiny piece of meat in there. So when it comes to a non-kosher animal, we said this a few times, with Gid Anasha, you're not chayiv at all. Why? Because when it comes to tummy, you have to eat a kazayis of meat. So for the tummy animal, he's not over. But for the aver menachai, you don't have to have meat. You have to have an aver with sinews and everything. That's also good. It's a special chiddush in aver menachai. And now I'm going to tell you another secret. The Torah says two psukim, aver menachai and basar menachai. Why? Why does the Torah say two things? The answer is, one is to tell me that I could eat a limb, a whole limb, even though it doesn't have basar. It's just an aver. It has gidim, va'atzomos, and a tiny piece of basar. You're also chayiv. We're in the whole Torah. It has to be an achila. It has to be kazayis of achila. So treif animal, I need a full kazayis of meat. It has to be a steak. It can't be the bone part in order to be over. But when it comes to aver menachai, it could be the bone part, as long as it has a little bit of meat in there. And the other pasuk comes to tell me that when I eat basar menachai, I need a full kazayis. I need a full basar, no gidim, no atzamais for the basar part. So there's aver, I ate a whole limb, that could include sinews and bones. And if I eat basar menachai, which is not a full limb, it's just part of his, his shoulder, for that, it can't be mixed with any bones and sinews. So Mimela again. So Nachal. So what's the pshat again? We're talking about a situation where a guy ate a kazayis of a bird, a aver that includes bones and sinews, and it's tamei. So he's not over anything. Aver menachai is not over because aver menachai doesn't apply to a non-kosher animal according to Zman Damar, and he's not over on tamei because it wasn't basar. That's it. Very simple. Toshmak. Domer Rav.
Talking about a guy. So how does that follow on?
No, we're talking about a Jew. The first part was talking about a Jew, and the second part was talking about a guy. On the first part, we're asking.
So we're saying on the second part also it's the same case, no? We ate.
No, but the second part, a guy is chayiv on aver menachai on a tummy animal.
Even for sinews and bones.
Yeah, why not? A Jew is chayiv on sinews and bones on a kosher animal, and a guy is chayiv on sinews and bones on a non-kosher animal. Omer Rav, ochal tzipa b'tahira b'chayeha. If he ate a bird that's tar when it's alive, b'chol shehu. It's a kasha. What's the kasha? Rav says you need a kazayis, and over here it says b'mashu. Rav himself says b'mashu. Says the Gemara and b'misasa. Let me continue. B'misasa, but when it's dead and it's only a iser nevela and no more iser aver menachai, right? When it's dead, there's no aver menachai because it's not chai, it's dead. So how much do you need? A kazayis. Doesn't help me to have a whole bria. Utmeya, and if it's a non-kosher animal, bein b'chayel, bein b'misasa, b'chol shehu. Why? Because if it's a non-kosher animal, if you eat a birya, a whole birya, you're chayev, even if it's less than a kezayis. So let me ask you Gishmaka Kasha that Rashi discusses. What about a whole nevela? I'm eating a whole birya nevela that's less than kezayis. Am I over? He's speaking in Rashi already. I see you speaking. You hear the Kasha? A whole nevela. An animal drops dead and the whole animal is less than a kezayis. It's a birya. I should be chayev. Says Rashi, no. Because the birya, as if you remember, I said by Gid Anosha, there's four rules of Gid Anosha. What's a birya? And the first rule is it has to be created like that. And an nevela is not created like that. A nevela only happened after it became a nevela when it died. The Isur nevela wasn't when it was born, so it's not a birya. You hear the chap in Rashi?
So what if it was a stillborn?
But it wasn't created like that.
It was never alive.
Yeah, why we say it is alive. Then you could do abortions if it's not alive.
Not about a person, about an animal.
No, but you see, a sinew is considered. Oh, you're saying that.
I'm talking about an animal because it was never.
So that's not Eber Menachai. Oh, that's not a nevela.
Ah, exactly.
It's not a nevela at all. You're saying. I don't know. Okay.
But that's every barrier that you're looking at,
Yeah, like what?
even bigger than a kazais, even a bigger thing than a bird. It was born not in a vela.
Yes, you're not. You're over with the kazayis. You don't have to come on. We're saying even if it's less than a kazayis, if it's a full birya and it's less than a kazayis, you're also over on Iver Menachai. But not what? Oh yeah, Tomei, Tuma is born Tomei. Tomei, it's not Iver Menachai. Tomei. There's no Iver Menachai in fish. Toshma, no. Toshma not the tzibur shein bo kizayis v'acholoi. If he took a kosher bird, now we're switching to kosher for a second. He took a kosher bird, that's a whole bird, again, it's a whole birya, and it's tahar, and it doesn't have a kizayis, and he ate it. Now, Rebbe Poiter. Rebbe says he's potter. What if it has a kizayis? Then of course it would be over on basar menachai. It doesn't have to be over menachai, it's basar menachai. Every bird, if it has a kizayis in it, he'll be over on basar menachai. But over here we're talking about over menachai and it doesn't have a kizayis. Rebbe Poiter, Rebbe Elazar Rebbe Shimon Mechayev. Now listen to this. This is the Gemara is going to explain this. Omer Rebbe Elazar Rebbe Shimon, Kava Choimer. Al Eber Mimeno Chayev Akula Lekolchken. Rebbe Elazar Rebbe Shimon says, what are you talking about? If you have one limb that's less, it's a full limb, less than a kezayis, you're over an Eber Menachai. So if you eat the entire animal, also it's a bria and it should be Eber Menachai. And what does Rebbe hold? Rebbe holds no. Aver means a limb. And guess what? If it's not separated from the body, it's not a limb. This is not a limb. This is a hand on my body, but it's not a limb. It becomes a limb when it's separated. There's no in the Torah to a limb, a bria. It says in the Torah, Aver Menachai. And it's not an Aver. That's what he holds.
I was seeing this before. If you cut off a limb inside of the belly of an animal.
That's something else. That's part of the animal that, yeah. But over here we're saying that it's not halachically it's not a limb. Chanukah ba'achola, we're going to see it inside. Chanukah ba'achola, if he choked it to death instead of shechting it, I just stuck in instead of shechting because just to prove a point that if you killed it, then it's an avela, then it's kezayis. Oh, so now we're coming with this concept. Now, when it's alive, do I view it as a bunch of limbs put together, walking around? Why? Because I am going to chop this animal up in 5 minutes after I shecht it. So right now, it's considered chopped up already. And the other man, the Omer, says, no, it's not considered limbs. But the Kuli Alma, Mia Loi Be'in Kazayis. So let's just stop it for a second, understand what's going on. So we have a shaila, and we're going to see more of the shaila soon. Stam, nobody discussed this animal. A guy has a cow walking around in his backyard. Does he view all his limbs as chopped up? as limbs? Is this just a package of limbs? Is this cow a bunch of limbs?
I don't know, I look
Just
at
happens to.
steaks.
Okay, so you view the steaks. So you b'chayel leivarim medes. He holds leivarim medes. He holds like those. And Rebbe holds no. At the end of the day, it's alive. After it dies, that's a different story. Then I'll chop it up and I'll make it into limbs. But right now, it's not a bunch of limbs. We're going to see beautiful things that are going to get to that. Omer Rav Nachman. So over here, the Gemara says, "Oh, you see, you don't need a kazayis. You don't need a kazayis. No, you do need a kazayis. Just you don't need the kazayis of meat. Like that's where the original Rav Nachman is. You don't need a kazayis of meat. You need a total kazayis with the gidim vatzamois." So as the Gemara, you tell me you ate the entire bird. The entire bird doesn't have a kazayis, but one of its limbs has a kazayis with bones. How could that be? It's so small, this bird, that it literally doesn't have one kazayis of flesh in its entire body. But one of its limbs, you can take off its foot, its wing, and in the wing, it's large enough that it has a kazayis together with the bones. Is there such a thing? The Gemara says yes. It's called a klanisa. There is such a thing. It's a bird that has barely any. I mean, the Gemara didn't meet my kids. I have 2 kids like that. They have a bunch of bones, 0 meat. Unfortunately, I looked in the art scroll. He doesn't have the name of this bird.
Do we know what it is?
I don't know. I'd love to see this bird.
What's it called? I'll tell you.
A klanisa.
Klanisa.
Ema Seifa. So the Gemara says, wait a minute. If you're talking about,
I have the dark web, don't worry.
so the Gemara asks, but at the end it says, Chanokah ba'acholo divrei hakol b'kazayis. If you eat it, then it's kazayis. V'klonisa oiv tamehu. V'omarav tmei obei mechaya obei misas b'mashehu. If a klanisa, you're talking about a klanisa, then a klanisa doesn't need a kazayis. Elokein klanisa. We're not talking about literally a klanisa. We're talking about a very, very skinny bird that has no meat on it, but it has a lot of bones, and that's what we're talking about.
It's a kosher bird.
Kosher bird. Okay, it has to be kosher, because if it's not kosher, then I can get away with the klanisa. What? You have a picture of a klanisa?
This is just what's coming up. On
Are you joking? That's a look how big, look how much buster it has.
It might be very
What do you
fat.
have? A fat bird.
Yes, I got the same.
Lo chaliyot. Come on, seagull. You ever saw a seagull? A seagull is the size of your head. It's the one of a massive bird.
Didn't know what it was when we opened it.
Yeah.
Rashi would have said it loud.
This is what they.
What I would look up, guys, if you want to go on YouTube, go on Google, look for skinny dying bird. That's what you should look. Then you'll get a like look up skinny bird, really skinny bird with no meat.
big.
No, it's not so big. It has its aver has a kazayis. It's not big. Kazayis. How big is a kazayis? Omer Rava.
It's called a shachav gamadi.
Gamadi.
Show a picture.
No way. That's a seagull.
Why is that
A short seagull. No. That has a lot of kazaysim. That thing probably weighs 6 pounds.
At the end it says kein
אותה לדף היומי שחף גמדי והוא קלניסה. חולים דף קוף אייז, פעמר בייז. It says here, why do you
Poto Daf
argue?
Yomi?
Yeah.
They have pictures. Oh, seagull.
Hey, this one I found.
Oh, that's what I'm looking for. That's a much better picture. Here, doesn't this look better for the daf? Come on, this looks like something I can understand. A skinny bird, long leg. Here, the leg exactly. The leg has a kazayas. This is perfect. You show me a bird, you might as well put an ostrich in that picture. Okay. So, boys, listen to this. So the Gemara takes this to the next level. This is a very important sugya.
It says shachaf gamadi.
I don't care what it says. We're not putting that on the 8-minute daf. The 8-minute daf is going to be skinny bird. Okay. Listen, it's beautiful. We just said if a person has a cow, this is going to get to what you said, Gary. A person has a cow. Do we view the cow as a bunch of limbs or not? Comes Rava and says an amazing thing. This whole question, if an animal is a bunch of limbs or not a bunch of limbs, is when we don't know what the owner says. But what if the owner says, Mefurish, I want to chop him up right now when he's alive. I'm chopping him up. He's a bunch of limbs. Then it turned into limbs. And if it turned into limbs, then he's over. Then he's chayiv. It's Ever Min HaChai. But what comes out a tremendous chiddush from that? That for him, he turned it into limbs. But for you, it's not limbs. So I'm chayiv on Ever Min HaChai. You're potter from Ever Min HaChai. That's what the Gemara says. It's amazing. It has to do with his machshava. These limbs are more than what you thought. It has to do with designating as limbs or not designation as limbs. Omerava.
Isn't every case of a guy chopping up an animal without shechita?
Leivarim medes.
Yes, it's about his leivarim that he's creating. I'm chopping up lambs. I've killed this animal.
I'm not sure. You just happen to be hungry that second. What if it's not even his? What if he did it to somebody else's?
You, it's a work animal?
3 minutes.
Omarova im timtzeloi masovi Rebbe machshavas acholim shmo machshava. If you say, if Rebbe holds to this concept, says Rav, I don't know what he holds, but let's say he holds that I could decide in my machshava I make it a food or not. Chishiv la'achla ever v'achala kula. If he himself decided in his own mind to eat it right now as a bunch of limbs, chayav. Is there such a thing that a person can be chayiv for himself, but everybody else in the world is potter? Yes. Yes. In his brain, it's a bunch of limbs. In the other guy's brain, it's not limbs. So for that guy, it's not every minute chayiv. And let's take that in the reverse, according to the other mandam, according to Reb Shimon. According to Rebbe Lazar, that says that leivarim medes, that everybody's animals leivarim. So if you thought that it's not leivarim, then you're not over. What case? He said, no, right now I don't want to mess with it. I'm not making it a varim. I'm going to wait until it dies. But then he turned around and he thought it was dead, but it wasn't dead, and he ate it. He's potter. I just stuck that in. He didn't know, but. Kitzer, he said no, it's not for Ivarim. Ivarim is later on, and then he comes and he eats it. He takes a bite out of it. In other words, not like you said. This is the guy that ate it, and he's not Ivarim for whatever reason, because he said Ivarim is later. Potter. Abai doesn't like it. How is it possible that it's also for one person? I made a chart, Motzei Shabbos. It's one of those Motzei Shabbos charts. I apologize. It's mamish horrible, but I'll explain to you. It'll be nicer after I explain. It's Motzei Shabbos. What am I going to do? This says Rabbi Yochanan. It's a little chopped off. The page is a little dirty. That's what he means. It's terrible. Rabbi Yochanan and Shlakish. They both have the same psukim. It says Lo Soichal and Bas Basada Treifa. Lo Toichal, Bas Basada Treifa. Rabbi Yochanan learns from Lo Toichal one thing: Ever Min HaChai. Learns from Lo Toichal, Ever Min HaChai, and then you take the next pasuk. Basa Basada Treifa. Yochanan learns two things, and Rishokish learns one. He learns Basa Mechai and Treifa, and he learns only Treifa. Now it's very, very interesting what happens if that's how you learn the psukim. Because let's say you eat an ant. How many malchus do you get if you eat an ant? What? I don't know, like 5, 10, whatever. There's a sugi, right? You could let's say you could get 5 malchus for it. Why? Because there's 5 psukim. It's possible to eat one thing. So here's a chap. What happens if a person eats Ever Min HaChai and Basar Min HaChai together?
Only according to Rish Lakish, he's over
according to Rish Lakish, he's over on 1 Isser, so he gets 1 malchus. And according to Rabbi Yochanan, he gets 2 malchus. And what if he eats Basar Min HaChai and Treifa?
No, just Basar.
Yeah, no, Basar Chai and Treifa. It is a Treifa. It has a hole in its animal. According to Rabbi Yochanan, 1. And according to Rish Lakish, 2. And what if he eats Treifa and Ever Min HaChai?
So according to everyone,
according to everybody, he's over on 2 because it's 2 separate psukim. He's only chayiv 1. Why is that? And that's the sugya halfway down Kuf Gimel. Have a good avach. Wish me luck, Rabbi Say. I have to do 4 videos tonight. 4 8-minute videos. It's not gonna happen. Because I messed up on Friday and I didn't send it out. I went all the way to Shabbos and I couldn't go.
What are you guys doing? You guys are crazy.
Is that me?
It's other.